If you are a teacher, parent, administrator, student, and/or anyone who loves reconnecting children with nature, and you want to figure out how to cultivate learning gardens and nature-based curriculum, then this is the podcast, the Outdoor Classrooms podcast. My name is Victoria Hackett. I am the founder of Outdoor-Classrooms.com and the Secret Gardens Nature Classes. I love witnessing the magic that happens when children are playfully learning outdoors. Observing the return of wonder and curiosity when children are interacting with nature is pure magic. This is the podcast that is going to help you capture children's interest and give you not only inspiration, but some real life strategies that are going to help you figure out how to use the outdoor space, your outdoor space, as a teaching tool, so you can enlighten the playful learning experience for young children. Welcome to our Outdoor Classrooms community. Hello, everybody. Today we are going to be talking about the art of noticing and how we can help children see the world through nature's eyes. Welcome, welcome. Again, my name is Victoria Hackett. I'm the host of this podcast, the Outdoor Classrooms podcast, also the leader and facilitator of many programs at Outdoor-Classrooms.com. So hop on over there. But today we are going to talk about noticing. And I'm just so thrilled that you're here and want to really dive into some big questions. The biggest question being, what does it really mean to help children notice? It's a time when noticing something in nature, like a bird building a nest, or a child discovering a tiny mushroom, or noticing the seasons change, has truly shifted our perspective or brought joy. This past week, we had children in the Secret Gardens outdoor classroom, and we just had a big old rain, and we had tons of worms, and the kids were just enthralled with finding all these incredible worms. And to me, it was an amazing connection to witnessing them noticing their surroundings in nature. So today we're going to be talking about this deeper understanding of what noticing is, why it matters for child development, and how can we weave as educators, and again, all educators or anyone that's working with children, how can we weave noticing practices in everyday outdoor learning? So my first question is, what is noticing? In defining noticing, it's an intentional awareness. It's tuning into details and patterns in the natural world. So I want to emphasize that noticing is an active engagement. It's not necessarily a passive observation. We're not sitting back and watching. There's an active participation in noticing. When I talk about this, that means we're going to be engaging all of the senses. And this is ideal for children's learning. So when we talk about sight, we are noticing patterns and colors and movements. When we're noticing sound, we're noticing bird song, rustling leaves, water flow. When we're talking about touch, we're talking about textures of bark, cool soil, smooth stones. And finally, when we talk about smell, I just said it, we had all this awesome rain on the pavement, pine needles, flowers, just the whole world seems to just open up with beautiful, new, fresh smells. So other examples might include a child tracing the veins of a leaf or listening to the first spring peepers or observing how shadows change throughout the day. So it's really interesting to me because I had a child in our program the other day, and he was noticing things that weren't connected to nature. We have a lot of work that's happening on our street, and there was a lot of beeping sounds. There were a lot of big trucks that were moving backwards, and every time they moved backwards, beep, 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 beep. That's what they heard. So that's what they were listening to. So that in conjunction to the bird song that they were hearing, it was all kind of that particular day, not just about being out in nature and just hearing nature, noticing these other sounds that might not be affiliated with nature. I want to invite you as the listener to pause for a few seconds to notice something around you right now. Is it the temperature? Is it a sound? Is it a light pattern? I just want you to take a few minutes or seconds to notice. So I want to share next, why does noticing matter? The importance of noticing for children. There are so many incredible benefits, and I want to start with the cognitive benefits. When we invite children to notice and we build an environment where we are really encouraging them to notice nature around them, it builds observation and analytical skills. It strengthens attention span and curiosity when they're noticing. Again, with the worms, if they are, wow, there's a lot of worms, the focus of the children for that period of time just grew. So, noticing in terms of the cognitive benefits also supports the scientific inquiry of early literacy through this descriptive language. So, we're inviting children to describe what they're noticing. With the emotional and social benefits, I think I, again, know that I'm speaking to the choir, but for any of you that haven't heard, spending time in nature reduces stress and cultivates mindfulness. It fosters self-regulation and empathy. It also creates a sense of calm, belonging, and connection. So that's our time in nature. So when we add noticing on top of that, there's a whole nother deeper level that the children are experiencing in their time in nature. And this is where I want to be screaming from the tops of a mountain, saying how important that this is to have these practices in all of our schools, where all children can have access to really learning how to notice our outdoor environments. To continue, I want to talk about the benefits of noticing within children's creativity and wonder. So it sparks new questions and imaginative exploration, expressive arts, drawing and storytelling and dramatization. All of that is because they're noticing. They're noticing. And if we are out there creating invitations for learning outdoors, the kids will notice that, oh, wow, there's something a little bit different here. And that's going to spark this creativity and wonder, which they already have an abundance of. It's as we get older, we want to hold on to that creativity and wonder, right? The final one I want to talk about here is just that environmental stewardship. When children notice their natural environment around them, they are building a relationship with their environment. When children in turn create a relationship with their environment and nature, because they're noticing the worms, they're noticing the bees. We've been having lots of discussions in our fall masterclass about just the bees and how tired they are and how can we help and nurture the bees and what's the difference between a bee and a wasp. And all of this because it's happening in our outdoor spaces. When children have an awareness, they grow into appreciation, which leads to care. Mary Oliver has a beautiful quote, "Attention is the beginning of devotion." And that attention is noticing, and therefore it's the beginning of devotion. Moving on, I want to talk a little bit about incorporating noticing in your outdoor classroom. So how can we do that? How can we use practical strategies as parents and educators and leaders, how can we incorporate noticing into what we are already doing? The first thing that we can do is to model noticing. And how do we do that? How do we model noticing? Oftentimes, if we are just narrating what you notice out loud, with an infant baby and you're changing their diaper and you're just talking and hoping that they're going to catch on, but the tone of your voice, the up and the down and all around, they're noticing, they're feeling this connection. It's the same type of thing when we are doing something outside. We are noticing and actually using the word notice. I'm noticing how this log feels cool and damp underneath. So replacing giving the answers with sharing a curiosity. So if we give the answers continuously to children, their curiosity is going to be stumped. But if we can replace the answers and give them curiosity, wow, I'm really noticing that the log feels cool and damp underneath. Where does that take the children? Has it been raining? What happens underneath? Do the animals like it better underneath where it's cool and wet and gooey? And then I wonder why these mushrooms only grow on this side of the tree. And maybe you truly don't have the answer. And that's wonderful too. I think there's a lot of educators out there that feel like, oh, I have to be an expert environmental educator and know all the details about everything. I think what kids love the most is that they can explore this alongside of you. That might be a whole wonderful conversation about mushrooms where we can bring in books and explore and find the answers together. All because, I wonder why these mushrooms only grow on this side of the tree. Using these sensory invitations, like I notice, I wonder, it reminds me of, these are all prompts that can invite curiosity with our children and not necessarily giving them all the answers. Also, the other thing that we can do to use sensory invitations is to lead sensory walks, focusing on one sense at a time. The sound, the sight, the touch, the smell. So we don't want to bombard them with all these different senses, but what if we just focused on one? And maybe we added another one, depending on the age and the stage of where your children are at. The other thing that we want to do is we want to make noticing a habit. And that means we need to create routines for noticing, routines and systems. How can we make noticing a habit? That means we might begin our outdoor classes or sessions with a minute of silence to notice and actually use that word, notice. So you may use a sit spot. You may have other systems. We have a nice tarp where we have X's with tape on the tarp so kids have their own spot. And I might ask them, okay, we're going to sit in a moment of silence and just notice. And then ending with a reflection circle saying, what did you notice today? So simple, so easy. It doesn't cost any money, but it's the return. That return on investment is enormous. It's enormous. It's getting kids connected to nature. It's asking these simple questions. What other things can we do? Nature scavenger hunts. So encouraging searching for things that we can put into nature. But what if we search for patterns or colors or just things about nature? The time of this recording is in the fall, and the colors have been absolutely phenomenal. But again, you can do this any time of year, during any time, any season. Again, you can ask questions like find something that changes with the weather, or something shaped like a spiral. Kids love searching for things, and something shaped like a spiral can go right into a wonderful math lesson. Changes in the weather can go into a wonderful science lesson. But the most important thing that we're talking about today is to make those connections with nature through noticing. And what better way to do that is to then add journaling and art. So using our nature journals for sketching, descriptions, and reflections, create a noticing station where you have magnifying glasses, field guides, and art materials. Again, it's another invitation, but truly, truly, truly is to actually be using these words, noticing. What do you notice? You can even put it on a sign. What are you noticing? So kids really start having this language embedded into their own language. And then we have storytelling and sharing. So inviting children to share their discoveries, that not only enables the literacy and grows the literacy, but they can do it through words, they can do it through drawings, they can do it through performances, inviting kids to use their bodies to be different animals that they notice. Did they notice the bee came to visit today? Did they notice a butterfly? Did they notice a squirrel or a rabbit? How are they moving through the space? So again, reinforcing that noticing leads to story. And it is the oldest practice in the book in terms of how we communicate with each other is we tell stories. We tell stories about every small observation becomes a narrative of place. Little things. Oh, I saw a little rabbit today. And you can name the rabbit. You can give make up a story about the rabbit. Again, wonderful, wonderful invitations to extend what you can do by just noticing. It leads to storytelling. What I want to ask now is some open-ended questions. And these are tips that you can use with your children. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you think is happening? These are all incredible open-ended questions that will enable your children to get into that noticing mindset. And again, it might feel awkward at first because the kids, again, it's like anything that's new. Any young toddler or infant's not going to start running across the room on the first day, right? They're going to crawl, they're going to fall, they're going to crawl, they're going to fall. So this practice of noticing and incorporating it into your outdoor classroom, if you're not already doing it, it's not going to happen overnight. And if you are already doing it, then how can you deepen that practice? Also, another tip is to slow the pace. So we tend to rush. We want to finish this so we can go to the next thing. We want to finish the next thing so we can go to the next thing. And I am victim to this. I'm in this as well. I have to remind myself to slow down. But when we go on a slower walk, we deepen the noticing, right? So it depends on the goal of your walk. Again, if you're with adults and you want to get some exercise in, that's going to be a quick walk. But yes, if you're with children and the essence is to notice, that's going to be a much slower walk than you ever maybe even imagined. And I think for us adults, we need to sort of let go of everything and allow time to notice our world and the world going around. It's too fast for kids now. The third tip is that we want to emphasize that there's no right answer, that noticing is about curiosity, not correctness. Okay, I want everybody to hear that. It's about curiosity, not correctness. So all of those folks out there that do not feel like expert environmentalists and so on and so forth, they don't know all the facts about every single animal, that's okay. You can notice and be curious and not worry about the facts that go with it. That is where the curiosity can take you to learn more. So what I'd like to do now is I want to summarize just some of the key ideas that we talked about today. That noticing is mindful awareness. It's not only something that we should practice as educators and adults, it's also something that we should be incorporating into our outdoor classrooms, into our systems and routines, so it becomes a habit. Even the language, using the word noticing. What are you noticing? Also, talking about how noticing deepens children's curiosity and empathy and environmental connection. So when children are curious about what they're seeing in the world, they're going to be empathetic, and in turn, they're going to become young children that are going to grow up into adults that care about their environment. And that's what we need. We need more of that. There's an urgency for that now. The noticing can be practiced daily in small and simple ways. It does not need to be this whole big thing that you need to set forth with and set up. And it's incorporating the language, the habits, and really incorporating curiosity. So I encourage you to bring one new noticing practice into your outdoor classroom or your family time this week. And I would absolutely love for you to either email me and share what you've been noticing. You can email me at victoria@outdoor-classrooms.com. I'll put a little post on the Facebook page and our Instagram page, and you can share in the comments below. So it will be something like, what are you noticing with your children in your outdoor classroom? So look for that. And I would love for you to invite and share your stories or your photos, especially what are your students and your children noticing. So let's create some community engagement around this. I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for supporting this podcast. I have incredible gratitude for the shared commitment to nurturing children's connection with nature. And next time, we're going to be talking about some more incredible things. It's going to enhance our outdoor classrooms. And we have many, many, many incredible outdoor classroom stories coming up. So stay tuned. The more we notice, the more the world opens itself to us and to the children we guide. Get out there, open the door, and go and notice. Talk to you soon. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If you're ready to take the next step and dive deeper into our communities, here's how you can get involved. First, you can join our 1-hour workshops. These happen every month with fresh and exciting new topics each time. It's a great way to get a taste for what we offer. If you enjoy the workshops, you can become part of our Circle membership community, and this will give you access to not only all the new workshops that happen every month, but it will also give you access to our entire workshop library, which is growing. It will also give you access to our monthly roundtable discussions. And also, as a member, you receive exclusive discounts on all our programs. It's wonderful, wonderful family. The final step, if you would like to dig deeper into our community, is to join our Outdoor Classrooms Teacher Certification Program. This program is for those educators who are eager to dig even deeper into our programming, and it's the perfect next step. If you want to learn more about each of these programs, or you're not sure where you need to start, or any questions that you might have, schedule a one-on-one discovery call with me, Victoria Hackett. I will put all of that information in the show notes. You can also go to our website at www.outdoor-classrooms.com to learn more information. We can't wait to welcome you into our community. Until next time,